All right, this is review day 8. We're starting with review sheet 3. Um, you may have noticed on the note in the task that in the worked out solutions on review sheet 3, question 7, the second term there, the middle term should be a plus and not a minus. So just note that. So we start antiderivatives on this review sheet. Your work for today, you're doing 1 through 10. We're going to do 1, 5, and 10 together in the video. So the first couple, doing differentials or tangent line approximation. You'll always be given the option of either, and I'm going to do it with tangent line approximation just because over the years that's what I've noticed people tend to do the most. So we've got to figure out what our base equation is. So our base equation would be y equals square root of x in this case. We want to pick out what's a nice x value that is nearby. Well, square root of 25 will be nice, so 25 is our nice x value. Then what's the nice y value? Square root of 25 is just 5. Next, we want to find our derivative. So that'll be 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. It's easiest to work with when subbing in if you don't have a negative exponent. So I'm going to rewrite this as 1 over 2x to the 1/2. And then we want to be able to find the numerical value of our slope. So we sub our nice x value into that derivative equation. This is really square root. Square root of 25 is 5, times 2 is 10, so we get 1/10. Then all we do is we write our tangent line equation. So y minus the y value is equal to your slope times x minus the x value. Next we'll go to question 5. And all these other questions, you're doing integrals. Remember, indefinite integrals, you need your plus c on the end. If it's not a plain old x on the inside, you'll need to do a u substitution. So for this one, our inside function is the 2x minus 1. So we're going to let u equal 2x minus 1. So du would equal 2 dx. Well, there's no 2 here, so we would want to correct by multiplying by half. So we got a half du equals dx. So let's see what we've got so far. The square root of this is going to become square root of u. The dx, we've got 1/2 in du. So usually we put our constants out front. But this x is left over. So these are the hard ones where you have to do a second substitution. So we go back to what u is equal to, and we're going to get the x by itself. So we'll add the 1 over, and we'll divide by 2. And that is what x will become. And now we have something that only has u's. Well, this divided by 2, I'm going to pull out front with the 1/2 to make it 1/4. And then we can distribute the u to the 1/2 through. When you multiply terms, remember you add the exponents. So we're going to get u to the 3/2 plus u to the 1/2 du. We now can do our antiderivative. Exponent goes up 1. Divide out front by the new exponent. Dividing by a fraction is multiplying by the reciprocal. So 2/5 times 1 is 2/5. This will be u to the 3/2. We'll get 2/3 out front. And then we'll have our plus c. And you could leave it right like this. That's a fine final answer. You can distribute the 1/4 through. If you distribute the 1/4 through, it'll still be a plus c on the end. It'll just be some different constant, but it'll still be a constant. Oh, sorry. That is not our final answer because we didn't replace the u. Thought something looked funky. So we've got 2/5. And everywhere there's a u, we've got to replace it with the 2x minus 1. Again, you can put the plus c inside the parentheses, outside the parentheses, it doesn't matter. Okay, the other one we're going to do is number 10. So we've got two things that are inside functions here. Tan x is inside a raised to the fourth, and secant x is inside a squared. So one of those two is going to be our u. Either u is going to be tan x or u is going to be secant x. Well, when you have multiple options, you want to think about which one's derivative is also present. Well, remember tan x's derivative is secant squared x, so that's the one that's going to work out nicely. So we're going to let u equal tan x. So du is just secant squared x dx. So this now becomes u to the fourth. This all gets replaced with the du. And then this is a pretty straightforward antiderivative. 1/5 u to the fifth. Don't forget your plus c because it's indefinite. And then this is just 1/5 tan to the fifth x plus c. All right, so you got the rest of questions 1 through 10 to do on review sheet 3. Upload your work right to Schoology when you're done.